I'm Holly from the blog of fullflourishing.com, where I talk about living a life of intentionality, and today I'm in Jericho's room and I'm going to be sharing about our plans for Advent. I am a mom to two boys. I have a 3.5-year-old and an almost 18-month-old. Their names are Samson and Jericho, and slowly each year I've just been adding things. We as a family have been adding traditions and kind of figuring out what we want like the Christmas season to look like in our home. We usually try to keep a really strong focus on Advent rather than the commercialized aspects of Christmas. So if you'd like to see what a family with two young children does for Advent, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I thought I would start this video off just by very briefly going over and showing a few of the materials that we have collected and are going to be using for Advent this year. And then I'll do just a very brief tour of our home. The tour may or may not have a totally clean home. Probably won't, but I thought, you know, I always think it's really interesting to see what other families are doing for Advent. That's how we learn from one another, is sharing ideas, and YouTube is a great way to be able to look into someone's home and see what they're doing. So just quickly jotted down like kind of our plan for Advent. So Advent starts in just a couple of days, and I'm trying to get this video out before it starts. But you know, if you're not watching this video till halfway through December or a week before Christmas or something like that, that's okay. You can start Advent and the celebration of Christ's birth and Advent season at any time, even if it's the night before, even if it's the night before Christmas and then on Christmas Day. It's never too late. So just because you don't have all of these materials, you can't afford them, you don't have the time to get them together. I also didn't have the time to get them together this year. This is my 4th Christmas as a mother, and so I've been kind of pulling these things together for now 4 years. So I've divided kind of what we're doing into 3 or 4 kind of different sections. So in the morning, we are gonna start out, I got this Advent calendar. I've been looking for one for 4 years, and I wanted the perfect hanging Advent calendar. I've seen wooden ones that are really beautiful but are kind of expensive. I didn't want it to have Santa or candy canes or stockings or anything Christmassy like that. I wanted it to be a nativity scene, but I wanted it to be unique. And if you know me, you know that since I was a girl, have always loved Africa and know lots of things about Africa. I've been to Africa, so I thought it would be really neat to have something from Africa that's like an Advent calendar. But where do you find that? You know, I didn't want to just buy it off of Amazon or from a store. I try to buy from moms or local businesses, or you know, support other women and families as much as I can with our money. So I just waited and waited, and I was so sad every year, and I spent so much time trying to find the perfect Advent calendar, but I just waited. And I even thought about making one, but it just wasn't what I was hoping for. And I just thought, you know, the right one will come along. The Lord will bring the right one that's for our family to us when the time is right. And that's right, because this summer we took Samson for his 3rd birthday to the Noah's Ark, and that's in Kentucky. The Ark experience. If you want something that's just absolutely incredible, family friendly, you should go to the Ark experience in Kentucky. I'll try and link their website below. But anyways, we went there and they had like a shop, and that shop had a lot of goods from Africa, women and families who, you know, it's fair trade, but they get a large portion of the proceeds back for what they've created. So in the video tour, I will show you what it looks like. But yeah, it's beautiful, and it's handmade, and yeah. So anyways, we'll start off in the mornings when we come into breakfast. Before we sit down for breakfast, while it's coming, you know, right after it's gotten to the table, I'm gonna have Samson go over to the day. So say December 1st, and each little thing has, it's the nativity scene, but then each little pocket has kind of like a mini ornament that is a hand-carved wooden animal, an African animal, and then you hang it on like a button. So he'll do that, and then we're gonna have this special little box, and out of it will be Jesus cards, and they'll be in order. They'll be And I'll also show you what these look like. I just haven't printed them off and made them yet, so I'll add that later. But they're the names of Jesus. So there's going to be 25 of them. Each one has a corresponding verse, and then I also created a picture on there. So we're gonna hang them on like a twine, and that way every day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whenever Samson is sitting at the table, he will be able to see the names of Jesus, and the picture that I've put on there will help jog his memory, since he can't read, of what that name is. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm going to link for free in my blog post that I'm linking below that printable if you would like to print it off and use it in your home. While we have breakfast, we are going to read from this book. So we usually do like a small devotional, and we'll read from the Bible, but we are going to forgo that devotional for the month of December and instead use this book. So this is brand new to us this year. This is what I added to our Advent this year. It's called All Creation Waits, The Advent Mystery of New Beginnings by Gail Boss. And I came across this. I listened to the Mason Jar podcast, and I came across it because she was featured on the podcast. And this book, I've already read the first 5 stories, is just beautiful. I'm not going to go into why she created this book, but basically it was a long time ago when she was pregnant with her second child, and she just really wanted to get away from the commercialized Christmas. Didn't want that in their home, really. And then she also came across what the true reason for the Advent season is, and what it has to do with the farmer and the early Christians and her very deep Christian roots. It's fascinating, and she has an intro in the beginning that talks about it, but I just thought this would be really good for my mama's heart, and this would be especially good for Advent for myself and my husband. But then I also thought, I'm sure you can hear the kids, I also thought that my children would really resonate with it, because each one has a picture, and it goes over just a very short page and a half or 2 pages story, reflect on how wild animals adapt when darkness and cold descend. We hear as if for the first time the ancient wisdom of Advent. The dark is not an end, but the way a new beginning comes. So super excited. So we're going to read this while they're eating. And then this was my mother-in-law's that I don't know if she used with my husband and his brothers, but it's just called Helen Steiner Rice Christmas Blessings. I mean, check something out from your library. You can find something used, but it just has very short Christ-centered poems. So we'll probably just read one of these a morning. Then we haven't made it yet, but the day before Advent, so on the last day of November, so that'll be this Friday, we are going to make a paper chain, and this will be something that Jericho gets to do. So if Samson gets to pull out the card for Jesus' names, then Jericho is going to get to tear off the paper chain, and it'll be a paper chain that leads up to, the last day. And it's just a great way, another way for them to kind of have a calendar, but I think it's a great way, especially for toddler Jericho, to see how much time is left before Christmas. We did it the last 2 years with Samson, and it's really fun. So usually we have circle time in the morning, and I will link my circle time video below if you're interested to see what we do during that time. But we are going to probably read another poem during that time, or I usually read during dinner a little bit of the time. We usually, right now, we're reading a little house book. And what we'll start doing is we'll start reading A Christmas Carol, which isn't Advent, but kind of, I guess, yeah, but not really. But we will start reading A Christmas Carol, but right now we're finishing up one of the little house books. But we will be rereading the one that we read in the morning. I just thought that would be a good idea to help it just really to sink in. Yeah, and then we will go over the Jesus name again. This time it will be hanging on the wall, so he'll be able to hopefully be jogged. His memory will be jogged by the picture. Finally, in the evening, the last thing we do, and we've been doing this for 2 years now, is we use this book. It's by Ann Voskamp. It's called Unwrapping the Greatest Gift, and it is, person by person, story by story, retrace the lineage of Jesus. Fall in love with him all over again as you experience God's plan of salvation for us from the Garden of Eden to the manger and beyond. So the Jesse tree is basically tracing Jesus's lineage, and you go through the entire Bible. So this isn't just a focus on the nativity in the manger, but also on the crucifixion and the resurrection and his lineage and prophecies and everything. It's got beautiful illustrations, but I bought this. Let's see. I bought this book when Samson was 6 months, so our first Christmas. There's Rahab. And let's see another one. So I bought this book when Samson was 6 months, and I quickly realized that I wanted real ornaments and didn't want to just use the free paper ornaments that they do provide online on the site. But I also realized that I had waited too long, like I didn't start soon enough, because I needed to be able to collect and think about how I wanted to do the ornaments. The next year, when Samson was 1, I partnered up with a really sweet friend of mine, and because there's 25 ornaments, we split it in half. She did half and I did the other half, and we made 2 of each one, and then we swapped. And I just have such fond memories of that. It's a really sweet time we spent together, you know, figuring this out. And there are lots of ideas on Pinterest of different ways that people have made Jessie tree ornaments. Some are really nicely made, but here's the box, and I've just kept it in this box that she gave it to me because she's moved to Japan and I miss her so much, and it helps me remember her, and it even smells like them. So yeah, so this is like these are the ornaments we made. So here's like a ladder. Here is Joseph's coat of many colors. We did, see, she made, here's baby Jesus, so cute. Here are stars. Your descendants will be as numerous as the stars. Here's the 10 Commandments. Whoop, there we go. We did order a few, so this one was ordered off Etsy. It's like a needle felt sheep. Some of them we found at Target, so this was from 2 years ago. This is like the burning bush. I know it's campfire, but this one we found at Cracker Barrel. Jesus, I think it was like leave a space for Jesus inside your heart. Here's Jonah and the big fish. So what we do is we read here, and then we give the ornament and they put it on the tree, and they know that this tree they do not touch. Yeah, and so that is how we we'll probably sing a carol, and that is how we end our day, you know, celebrating Advent in preparation for Jesus' coming. One more thing I forgot to add in the morning, I just picked up this, actually Samson picked out which one he wanted, but this is just like a sticker Advent thing, just, you know, something that's fun. Last year we did like a stained glass, and it was like pull the window open and peel it off, and it created like a scene, a nativity scene, but he wanted this sticker one, so then this will be in the morning during breakfast, or maybe during circle time as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be sure and link below the post that's gonna have the links to all of these items, what we use, kind of, I'll put like just a quick like outline of what order we do it in. If you have anything that you use, any books or any materials or any traditions that you have that you just really love, I would love to know them, because we may add them to our family's traditions. So now I'm going to take you just on a very quick tour of a couple of the areas in our home that are geared towards Advent this season. This is our Jessie tree in our living room. It's the tree we got when we first got married, so it's about 11 years old, and it's kind of sad, but this is what we use for our Jessie tree ornaments. There are ornaments in the box and the Anne Boss Camp book. So this is where we will do our evening Advent. Here's the heart. So here's the other part of the living room for the kids. This basket of books is, they're mostly nativity or Christ-centered, but there's a few in there that are not, like the bear stays up. And I have just a basket of stuffed animals that they can play with. So here's this really neat Advent calendar that we got at the Ark Experience this summer. That is handmade and just so beautiful. So excited. So each thing has a pocket, and it has just a hand-carved, I say just, but it has a hand-carved animal So with this, we will be using our Names of Jesus cards. That is linked in my post if you want to download and print it out for yourself. So I wanted to show you, here's the devotional we usually use every morning. It's really sweet, really short, and we really enjoy it. But for Advent season, this is what we're going to be having in our breakfast basket. So this isn't morning time, this is just for breakfast. So we'll start off with, the All Creation Waits, and then we'll read a poem out of here. We'll look up the verse that goes with our Names of Jesus card, and then this right here was from my mother-in-law, and it just has like maybe like a poem, or it has like a verse or something like that, and we'll read one or two of those, and that is what we'll do for breakfast. So here's our bathroom. It's not clean. I told you things wouldn't be perfectly clean, but again, here's how we have like a little nativity, and it strikes up conversations. They come in here to wash their hands and brush their teeth every single day, and so it's just a great way to just kind of put a little magic in our home and constantly have Christ, in little things. And when Samson comes to use the bathroom, he always sees this. Sometimes he'll talk about it, the little figures that are on there. And then I thought I'd share quickly a few of our favorite books, because I got asked a question about them just 2 nights ago. So One Wintry Night by Ruth Bell Graham. This is great for Advent. It's long, so you wouldn't just sit down and read the whole thing, but it could be like, we'll probably use it at night. Daddy and Samson will probably read this at night, and it goes through the Bible and ends with the crucifixion and resurrection. Where Do You Sleep, Little One? This is perfect for Jericho. It doesn't have very many words. It's got really beautiful pictures. The Crippled Lamb by Max Lucado, of course, just lovely. I really like this one, and we tend to read this one because it's short enough, but it goes through the whole Bible. We tend to read this one or this one on Christmas Eve. So, yeah, this one is a little bit longer, so Jericho would lose his attention, but Samson would read it, and it also, really focuses on the life of Jesus, not just the nativity, but this does Christmas night. Really beautiful pictures. And then, I don't know if this one is still in print. This was my husband's book. It's my husband's book when he was little. It's kind of cool. Innkeeper, what do you see? I see a stable, cold, and dreary. So, anyways, these are some of our favorite Advent books. Alright, so I hope you found this video useful and helpful. If you did, if you will press the like button and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to look at the notes below to see the link to my post. And I hope you have a really restful, peaceful, Christ-focused and centered just Christmas season.